Today we're going to be taking a look at modifying some cars in Gran Turismo. I've broken this down into three categories. There are bolt-on parts that can be removed and reinstalled at any time during the car ownership. There are engine and body modifications that require you to purchase either a new engine or a new body in order to reverse the modification. And then there are permanent modifications that cannot be removed from the vehicle during your ownership. In order to reverse that, you would actually need to sell the car and purchase it again. So I'm actually buying a couple of these Sprinter Terranos in order to have a little bit of an inventory to work with without spending too much money. But this actually will cost me 1,000,000 credits, so stick around so you don't have to make these same intentional mistakes in your game. We're going to start off in the tuning shop, and we're just going to modify these vehicles as fully as we can. We'll start off with some weight reductions on the body. This is part of that classification where it's a permanent or semi-permanent modification. Same thing with boring up the engine. You're actually cutting material away from the vehicle. The high lift cam is a bolt-on part, as well as actually the high compression pistons are a permanent modification as well. And we'll go through the parts once they're installed on the vehicle to kind of show you what's going on. I'm not buying the power restrictor or ballast, but those are a good way to counter some of those issues that you may experience in trying to get to qualifying these cars in specific races. The engine or some of these parts I'm not buying as well, like we're getting a mid-level turbo, and I'm going to get a supercharger, but I'm not really concerned about which level because every turbo and every supercharger is going to be in the same category. We'll see that as well. I typically buy this fully customizable manual transmission as well as the fully customizable racing. That way, if I want to use the clutch pedal and shifter while racing, it actually does work with that clutch pedal. The fully adjustable racing transmission will not recognize your clutch pedal because it's not using the clutch pedal in the actual working of that transmission. It's also worth noting you do need a physical H-pattern shifter in order to use the clutch pedal in Gran Turismo. The paddle shifters will not allow you to use the clutch. So just something to keep in mind when you're building your physical rig or your racing setup. Those are required in order to use the clutch, but it is supported in the game. So we're going to finish building this car out. Brake balance controller is something that's removable, but you really won't need to. It doesn't change your performance settings, and I've never seen it as something that's excluded from any specific races. Just throwing on a set of tires. I'm not using the hydraulic clutch or the nitrous system in this build, but they are removable mods. The titanium connecting rods and pistons will not be removable. The carbon prop shaft is, but we'll see that more in the future as well. So we're going to take this thing over to the garage and actually just take a quick look at how this lays out in your tuning page. And this will show you more accurately which parts can be removed and which cannot. So as you can see here, we can switch tires, no big deal. We can change our suspension back to anything we've purchased. Same thing with the differential. Anything we purchased is available. The full computer, you could do the sports or the full race. Same thing with the transmission. This is something I do regularly. The nitrous kit, as well as we mentioned, could have been installed and uninstalled. Same thing with turbos. We'll actually select the turbo here. It's a little bit better than the supercharger we purchased. This car does not allow both. I don't know if there are any in Gran Turismo, but there have been cars in real life that have allowed a supercharger and a turbo to be installed on the same vehicle at the same time. I think there was a Nissan March that had both, that they had on Mighty Car Mods. So kind of an interesting setup, but very uncommon. You can see here as we're going through, we've got all of the different options. Now, if you look at the engine tuning, these are the options that cannot be removed from this vehicle without purchasing a new engine or purchasing a new body. So all of these are semi-permanent mods. You can reverse them, and we'll do that here in just a moment, but it's the racing crank, the high compression pistons, the titanium rods and pistons, high lift camshafts. Porting and polish is actually cleaning up those ports with usually like a Dremel tool or a rotary tool. So those things cannot be removed from the engine. It's actually removing physical material to clean up some of that those flow characteristics, and because of that, you can't put the material back. So you would have to actually come here, purchase a new engine, and that will reverse those mods. And then as well, you can purchase a new body, which removes all of that weight reduction and chassis stiffening. So let's go ahead and head right back to the garage and look at that tuning page again, and you'll see what we're talking about. And something interesting here, even though we installed a new engine in this vehicle, you do still have the bolt-on parts available. So we still have our full computer, we still have our fully adjustable racing suspension, our racing air filter, racing muffler, but we have lost all of those tuning options and those weight reduction and rigidity options. So those will go away if you need to, if you purchase a new engine or a new body. And these are things that you might need in order to get these cars to qualify for specific races. But let's go ahead and take a look at the next level here, which is these mods are permanent and cannot be undone once purchased. These are available in GT Auto. Some of them are available right away, but the engine swap will become available after you hit collector level 50. So here first, we're going to put on the wide body kit, and it does have the warning at the bottom of the screen saying that once you make this modification, you cannot go back to the stock body on this car. They do, cut fenders and quarters and add the flares and things like that. Again, here you've got another warning in that amber color telling you when you swap the engine, it's going to be the same thing. You cannot go back to the stock engine when doing this, no matter what you do. You have to basically sell this car and purchase another one if you were just so desire. But there's really no point in selling it. You just keep it in your garage. So let's go ahead and hop into car customization. These mods can be reversed, so this is no big deal. This is, when you are doing the wide body kit, it gives you a little bit more space underneath the fenders, so you can add these wider wheels to give you a little bit more of a contact patch on the ground and hopefully better handling. Although sometimes those big patches will cause the car to hydroplane quicker. We've also got our aero. You can see here, because I've already built some of these cars out, I actually already own these parts. So even though this is a different car, I don't need to purchase them again. But keep in mind, the wide body version of these parts are going to be different than the stock body version. So if you were to build this out first and add all these parts to the stock body and then add the wide body conversion, they would all be gone when you come back here, and you would have to repurchase those parts because they are completely different, even if they look pretty much the same. This car, you can kind of see it a little bit where the wheel flares and the chin spoiler kind of work into each other. These are just cosmetic things here. These are all very reversible. It's really just to your taste. Same thing with the chin spoiler and the rear spoiler. All of these can go back to what the car was equipped with before we purchased any of it. So those are all very reversible, even though we're in this same shop. Back in our settings, you can see the engine model as being listed, so that's something that we can take note of. The car is also listed as a wide body when you go to select it. So those are indications that kind of give you a heads up on how this car was modded. Any modifications to the engine itself would actually need to be redone because this is a different engine. Here we're going to go ahead and purchase a replacement engine again and a new body as well to try to see. You can see already that the engine has not changed. We got a fresh motor, but it is still that MR2 motor. We swapped the body as well. Let's go ahead and take a look, and you'll be able to see that this car is, you can see in the little in the pictures as well, but you can see it's still listed as a wide body car, even though we've made those requests for changes. We did get a new engine, we did get a new body, but they are the same as the modified variants that we had before. One final note here, if you do have a modded engine in your car, the factory version of it, and then you go in and replace it with a different engine, you lose all of these mods that you've already purchased. So each engine has unique mods. The most notable is, if you're switching from a typical internal combustion engine to a rotary engine, you're obviously not going to have any kind of valves or cams going on in that engine, so those parts are not available. But you will lose any parts that you purchased for the stock engine once you go ahead and swap it over. And you will have to repurchase those parts for the new engine so they are compatible. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. And stay clean out there.